I hate this guy. I've watched us play Premier League games with Adrian San Miguel. Here's Munoz, the absolute torpedo. Oliver Glasner, you are also an enemy of the Golden Sky. Right, hello everybody, welcome back to the Golden Sky. I'm Tom, and today it is the classic Friday preview here on the Golden Sky. This weekend, the Premier League game is against Crystal Palace, a team that tortures us. We'll get into that later in the video. Let's begin the preview, as always, with the Liverpool predicted lineup. Right, so my predicted lineup then for Liverpool in this one is going to be a weird one. In goal, Freddie Woodman is starting in the net, in my mind, against Palace. Who saw this one coming? Our third choice goalkeeper, we'll talk more about that in a second. We've got Frimpong at right back, Konate, Van Dijk, Kirkes making up the back four. Gravenberch and Szoboszlai as the midfield two. I hope to God that's the midfield two, with Wirtz ahead of them, Salah on the right, Gakpo on the left, and Isak up front. Couple of changes from the win against Everton. Let's talk about the big one, which is Freddie Woodman being in the net, and I do think he is going to start this game. Alisson, Slot said something along the lines of he's close to a return to play, but to me that doesn't seem to indicate that he's going to start. And he did also say something about the fans need to show their support and need to back Woodman, and that he's got experience and he's a good lad in the dressing room and blah, 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 blah. He's going to be playing for us. This fella, who I bet like 50% of Liverpool fans too casual enough to even realise that this guy plays for us. But he does. We signed him in summer. He's been at Newcastle for a while. I don't know if he actually ever made a Prem appearance for Newcastle. He was at Preston more recently. By all accounts, he's been a good member of the dressing room, but I don't think he'd have ever expected to have started a game for us. An important game as well, a Premier League game that we need to keep picking up points in. But here he is. Now, listen, I've watched us play Premier League games with Adrian San Miguel in net. And that fella played like he was drunk off his barnet, like every single weekend that he was getting absolutely bladdered. So if he's anywhere near just a little bit better than Adrian, I'm fine with it. That's all I'm asking for. Just don't run away from the ball when it comes in from a cross. If anyone remembers that one against Villa in the 7-2, you know what I'm talking about. One of the worst bits of goalkeeping I've ever seen. He's one of the big changes. Mamardashvili still out and will be out for weeks after being hospitalised after his challenge against Beto. I think he cut himself. God knows where he cut himself, this lad. Has he, like, sliced his balls open or something? What's gone on? I don't know. I'm not a medical expert and I don't know what's happened to Mamardashvili, but there's no Marmalade Village for a couple of weeks. The other change I've gone with is I think Frimpong will start at right back. This is a little bit harsh on Curtis Jones, I think, because he had a good performance at right back last week. I saw a stat that he won the ball back like 16 times or something like that, and it was the most of any player this season. Couldn't believe that. That's an amazing stat. But I do think Frimpong will come back in. Slot doesn't seem to love Jones. He plays him here and there, but he doesn't seem to ever be able to consistently stay in the team, even when he plays well. I think Frimpong comes in at right back. We go to a more balanced looking sort of back four. The whole team there, as you look at it, is looking pretty balanced. I've gone with the midfield two of Szoboszlai and Gravenberch. I think that is our best midfield two. McAllister, for me, has just dropped right off a cliff this season. I mean, he is so far off it. He doesn't deserve to be starting. And then Jones could get a place, I'm sure, but I'd rather have Szoboszlai and Gravenberch, in my opinion, in this one. So that's what I'm going with there. That allows Wirtz to play a bit further ahead, and I hope Wirtz does play as the number 10 and not on the left, where I think Gakpo will play. After, that was a solid performance from Gakpo last week. A nice assist for Salah, who's been picking up form as well, getting a few goals in his last few games. So I think those guys kind of pick themselves. We do need more, though, from Alexander Isak, who will be starting up front in this one again. A couple of starts in a row for him now, but this will be, I think he's third in all competitions. PSG and then Everton and now Crystal Palace. So how long will he play for? I think he played about 60 or 70 minutes against the Ev. So I'm hoping for about the same again, maybe even a 90, hopefully. Who knows? Can he play 90 minutes ever? I guess we'll see. We need him to start getting on the ball. We need to start feeding him and we need him to be doing more. I seen him at Newcastle where he's all over the ball and he's all over the pitch and he's controlling games. He's been so impactful and we haven't seen that yet. And I'm hoping his fitness is building, so is his performance level, and he can get to what we sort of saw that it looked like it was building against Spurs. I hope we can see that again. Pre-injury, I hope we can see him get to that level and then way surpass that level like we saw from him consistently at Newcastle. I hope this can be a bit of a launching point for him at Anfield, where we should hopefully have a lot of the ball. So that's the team I've predicted. There's been some interesting articles and bits of news and whatnot this week. In fact, there's another change I've not even clocked. Kirkaz I've got coming in for Robbo. That one's pretty nailed on to me. That will be the third change. I should mention that as well. So apologies there. I do think that one's pretty nailed on, though. I can't see Robbo starting 2 in a row, despite the fact Robbo was pretty good in the win against Everton. So, this is the team I've gone with. There's been some interesting bits of articles and news, like I said. So there's been a few. Joyce did an article today, or I think it was today, where he talked about a few transfer bits. Nothing crazy, so don't lose your heads. But he did say that in January we were interested in Denzel Dumfries for about 20 million. He's obviously a right back. There seemed to be some indication that we didn't sign Frimpong to be a specialist right back. It does make me wonder a little bit, like, why did we sign him then? A little bit, like, if we didn't want him to play right back, he's not technical enough to play winger every week. So it's like, okay, is he an in-between? Like, yes, he is. He's a wing back, but we don't play with wing backs. It's a bit like, what was the kind of thinking there? That's maybe a story for another day. But Dumfries' interest, so are we going to go back in for a right back this summer? It seems like it, to be honest. Bradley's so injury prone, and Frimpong apparently not a out-and-out right back for us. So it does seem like we will be doing that. So that's one thing. Then there was a mention again of Jan Diomande. He's going to be a big talking point all summer unless someone signs him quickly, which is what I hope happens, because I'm not doing a saga again like last summer. This fella is the real deal. He looks fantastic at Leipzig, and he's going to cost about 85 million, according to Joyce, and we will not be the only team in Europe who is interested. That's for sure. So will we end up with him? Hopefully. But I think we all need to be a little bit careful with how we see transfers this summer. After last summer, we were all so excited, and it turned out to be a bit of a mess in the end, didn't it, really? So let's see. That's a few interesting bits. There was also talks of Konate being very, very close to signing a new deal. I think he announced that himself. He's close to signing a new deal, so that's good. I'm happy about that. And then there was also a little bit about Alisson and Juventus having interest in him. I'm not sure whether he'll go in summer or whether he'll stay for another year. Van Dijk obviously going to be here for one more year after this one, so maybe it makes sense for Alisson to go then, and that's all of the old guard then would have gone. Who knows? We'll see. But Mamardashvili has shown promise, so hopefully we get one more year out of Alisson, I think, even though he is so injury prone as a goalkeeper. So that's the team, that's the news. What else is there to talk about with Liverpool? Well, we've had back-to-back wins in the league for the first time since February. We actually won 3 in a row back then, so can we do that again this time? I'm hoping so. I'm hoping that we can. The table would look quite kind to us if we were to win this one. The situation as it stands is that we're 3 points behind Villa and United, as we were last week. Villa and United have Fulham away and Brentford at home, respectively. So Fulham v Villa and United v Brentford are the fixtures. Not the easiest, but not jumping out at you at like, oh, nailed on, they're going to drop points there if they were playing City or someone like that. So Brentford have drawn like 6 in a row. Maybe they can draw with United again, or they get something at Old Trafford. Fulham are always tough at home as well, so, and just a tough side in general. So maybe there's like a draw or something in there, and we can hopefully capitalise and maybe go 1 point behind or level on points with one of those teams. And if we do win, the most important thing is that we extend our lead on what is now Brighton. I think Chelsea, we can completely rule them out of the race. 5 losses in a row, no goals scored, and the manager's been sacked again. So I think they're done. I think that's pretty safe to say. They're not getting Champions League. But Brighton have come out of nowhere and are 5 points behind us, but we do have a game in hand. So if we win that, we're 8 points clear with 4 games left. That basically means we need 1 win and 1 draw from the last 4 games. And, you know, that seems all right. I think if we just win this one, I think we're there. I think we can say we're going to pretty much be in Champions League next season. So let's just get this one over the line. For God's sake, get us closer to being able to forget about this horrendous season. There is one little nugget of fact this week that I did see, though. After our winner against Everton, we have had 9 90th minute winners this season. 9, which is a new Premier League record, which is insane considering how many games we've also lost in the 90th minute this season. Very, very strange to think about how many games have been decided in the latter stages. It doesn't really make a lot of sense, does it, for us this season? So you would say our mentality this season, our fitness has been so poor, it would set a record for winning games in the last minute. How does that make any sense whatsoever? Let's get Palace on the board and talk a little bit about them. I have a lot to say about these bunch of absolute rats. Let me tell you, let's get them on the board and get into it. All right, so Crystal Palace's predicted lineup, let's get into it. Dean Henderson is in the goal. We go Munoz at right wing back, Richards, Lacroix, Camvo and Mitchell at making up the rest of the defence. Mitchell left wing back and then 3 defenders. Wharton and Kamada in the middle I've gone with. Pino on the left, Mateta up front. And the number 1 enemy of the Golden Sky, I can barely get his name out of my mouth, the absolute rat that is Ismaila Goddamn Sarr. I hate this guy, right? If there's any Palace fans watching, I hate him. With all my being, I genuinely despise Ismaila Sarr. Like, this guy, me and him, if he scores tomorrow, okay, I am honestly going to lose my absolute mind. And I mean that. You're going to be watching on the TV and you're going to see a head just fly into Anfield, right? It's going to fall out of the sky. It's going to fly into the stadium. The game's going to have to be stopped because there's a head that's just rolled into the stadium. It's my head, all right? I cannot deal with this guy scoring again against us, right? He has scored 7 goals against us in his career. 7. Just think about that for a second. 7 goals. He's not even that good. He's not even that good. He's a decent player. When he plays us, he's like fucking R9 Ronaldo. It makes no sense whatsoever. Honestly, it is ridiculous. He's scored 4 goals against us already this season alone. He scored 5 in his last 4 games against us. It is ridiculous. And if he scores again, oh my God, I'm going to go down to London. I'm going to go to the Crystal Palace shop. I'm going to buy every single Ismaila Sarr shirt that there is. And I'm going to just throw them all in a landfill. Because no, I can't see any more of this. This guy tortures me beyond belief. He's the number 1 enemy of the Golden Sky. He's a mortal arch nemesis of mine. And by proxy of yours by watching this video. All my homies hate Ismaila Sarr. I don't want to see this guy succeed ever. And that's all I'm saying about that. Palace, as a club in general, might be the most annoying club in history, especially this season. They have beaten us 3 times already this season. They beat us in the Community Shield, which was a nice sign of things to come. At the time, I was thinking, oh, this is a good laugh. Community Shield doesn't mean anything, right? They beat us on penalties. Sarr scored in that one, of course, the absolute rat. All right. Then, they don't sell us Gehi. We were partly to blame, sure. We let it go to deadline day. But Glasner threatens to quit his job if they sell us Gehi, which they agreed to do. So they pull the plug. He tells Igor, who went to West Ham in the end, he said to him, you're not going to play for me, all right? So he didn't want to join, so he goes to West Ham. So now we don't have a replacement, and they don't sell us Gehi. That's cost us how many points this season? God knows. He's at City. They're going to win the league now. So that's another thing. Oliver Glasner, you are also an enemy of the Golden Sky. Then they knocked us out the cup when Arne Slot decided to just throw the game away. In fact, before that, we played them in the league after we'd won our first 5 games, I think it was. And then they beat us, and that started the run from what can only be described as eternal hell, where we lost every game for God knows how long, and Slot should have been sacked at PSV, but he wasn't. He's still here. He's not going to be sacked. It doesn't look like he's even going to be sacked in summer. That's a whole different story. Then they beat us in the cup. Here we go. Slot threw that game. He wanted us out the cup and he just threw it away. They beat us 3-0 and Ismaila Sarr scored twice and it was embarrassing. I hate them. They have really grown on me as a club I don't mean that in a nice way. I mean, they've grown on my absolute nerves. They are detestable in my eyes. But they've lost Eze, obviously, in summer. They've lost Gehi in January. They shouldn't be good, should they? But they are. Somehow, they're still good. They have impressive players. Wharton is very impressive. He's going to probably move in summer. He's probably the next big one that they're going to sell, unless they manage to keep hold of him for another year or another 6 months. He's good. A lot of Liverpool fans like him. I am not totally sure he's what we need. I think he's an 8. We have a lot of 8s. He's more of a passer than anyone we have, which is good. Is he perfect for us? Not sure, but I do like him. He's a good player. We can maybe look at that more in a transfer video in summer. Camvo has come in for Gehi, signed him in the summer, I believe. He looks really impressive. Taking the ball into midfield beautifully in recent weeks. I really like him. And then Munoz, this guy is like having a torpedo at right back. He just, like young Andy Robbo, just flying into the box. He is all energy all the time. I really like him. One of my favourite players in the league to watch. He is so much fun. All action, Daniel Munoz. So they have a lot of good players. And the reason why I've gone with such a strong team for them is because Glasner hinted that he would go with his strongest team possible before next week, going back to rotation again as they go into the Conference League tie that they've got. Obviously, they just beat Fiorentina to get through to the next round. It's pretty wild that they've managed to find a perfect slot to play us where they'll have their full-strength team. They just bully us. I'm sick to death of being bullied by Crystal Goddamn Palace. How did this happen to us? But they are 12th. If I had to ask you to guess where Palace are in the league, you would just always guess 12th. I feel like they finish 12th pretty much every year. They're going to finish 12th or there and thereabouts again. They are unbeaten in the last 4 games, and they have a very good away record this season, 7th on the away table with 7 wins from their 15 away games. They win about 1 in every 2 away games. Now, some stats about Palace. They are very much a team that does like different sides of the game. Let me phrase that better. They are very good at defending and they're not so good at attacking. That make more sense? Right. 18th in goals, but only 3rd in goals conceded. There you see the total opposite ends of the spectrum there. 16th for shots on target, 15th for touches in the opposition box. They're not getting the ball forward all that much. They do generate good XG with their chances though, because they are elite in transition, and I'll show you some clips of that in a second. They are so good at counter-attacks and taking the ball quickly off a team and turning it into an attack in very short spaces. They are like Brentford in that aspect. Very good, so they generate lots of XG as a result, despite not having that many shots or touches in the opposition's box. They also limit the opposition from having touches in their box, 4th in expected goals conceded, and one weakness they do have is 14 goals conceded from corners this season. So with our improving set-piece record, and obviously got another winner from a set-piece against Everton, could it be possible that we take advantage of that in this one? Maybe Van Dijk gets another header, something like that. We'll see. That's Palace. Let's go and look at some clips of them quickly for the next part of the preview. If Ismaila Sarr scores in this game, just wait, everybody, for the ratings. Just you wait. Let's go and do some clips. Okay, just some quick clips then from Palace's most recent games, because they're prime examples of everything Palace do really well, and that is taking the ball and very quickly getting it forward and using the wing backs. They are the key for Palace in their system. So let's take a look. They win the ball here off of Newcastle, and immediately look at the positions of Munoz and Mitchell, especially Munoz. He is desperate to get forward immediately, and that's what he will do in this move. So the Rat is going to turn this one round the corner, which he does, and he finds Brennan Johnson. I think that's Sarr anyway. I'm not sure who played for Palace in this game, but they did play Brennan Johnson in this one. He's in that position that Sarr will be in on the weekend. He takes the ball and he's looking to play this one forward immediately. Again, into Jeremy Pino. They don't let Newcastle get back set. They are very quick and dynamic. Look at Mitchell bombing on. Look at Munoz bombing on. It comes to Pino. He's got Mitchell coming on the overlap, so he can cut inside if he needs to. They've all of a sudden got 5 players forward in the attack because the fullbacks have joined in. And it's not Sarr, it's Lerma. it is Lerma. I can tell from that photo it's Jefferson Lerma. My bad, Jefferson Lerma. You're not a rat. Sar, you are. Anyway, Pino's going to have this shot. It gets saved, and then it comes out to who but Daniel Munoz, who's now in the box to have another shot, which he almost scores. They don't score from this, but they get very close, and that is how quickly they can turn you having possession into them almost scoring a goal, and it continued in this game. This time, they actually start with the ball from the back, and this is a very quick attack they make, where they make good use of the fullbacks again. It's Camvo this time, bringing the ball out from the defence, which he has done really impressively, I've got to say. Didn't know much about this fella when Palace signed him, but he looks to be a good signing. Runs past the Newcastle player, runs into the midfield, takes the ball on, finds Kamada once he runs in there, and Kamada again has options. You see they've got that front five again with the fullbacks, with the wing backs even pushing on, Kamada supporting. He's just going to feed the wing back Munoz, and he's flying forward into the box again. That front five for Palace. This time the ball's going to come right across to the other wing back, which is Mitchell, and then he all of a sudden has loads and loads of space. He just pops it back across to Mateta, who nods it into the goal for the equaliser in this one. That is how quickly they can make attacks using the fullbacks. They spread the pitch really wide. They get 5 players forward, and they're still compact defensively. It's really impressive the way they do things. Let's move this into Europe. They actually lost this game to Fiorentina in Italy, but they win 4-2 on aggregate to go through. And you see how fluidly, again, they move the ball forward. They just nick the ball here. It comes to Wharton. He's going to play this ball really nicely between the lines. This is something that Liverpool would benefit if he did play for us, or any club would. First time pass straight through the lines into the rat, who I can confirm is stood here this time. He's going to get on the ball, and immediately they've broke through all of Fiorentina's midfield. Only the defence left to run at. So Sarr carries the ball forward. Who's the one coming up on the right-hand side and the left-hand side? There's Mitchell. Here's Munoz, the absolute torpedo. They're going to find Munoz. Look how much space he has to have a shot. He unfortunately hits this one wide. I mean, unfortunately for Palace. Hopefully he does the same against us when he gets in this position on the weekend. We're going to need to be very astute in our tracking of him, in how we pick up Palace when they inevitably turn us over and do counter-attacks. Rest defence has to be set. It's going to be difficult. They actually score a goal again in this game from a counter-attack. They nick the ball off Fiorentina, who were just trying to attack in the final third. Immediately they want to go. Look, they've got players bombing forward again, and it's Kamada again playing it out to Tyreek Mitchell. He's bombing forward again now on the left-hand side. So what does this mean? Well, you can bet your ass they're going to have lads coming up on the other side as well. And here's Sarr in the middle. And who's coming on the right? You guessed it, Daniel Munoz. This is how they actually won the FA Cup last season, from a Munoz cross to an Eze goal, from a Munoz marauding run from wing-back. Sarr's going to play Munoz this ball. He goes a little bit wide, but he crosses it in. And who nods it in the net? The rat himself, Ismaila Sarr. They actually score a goal. Good to see he doesn't just score goals against us. He actually does something against other clubs when he's not the reincarnation of R9 Ronaldo. That said, that's all the clips I'm going to show. Just a few ones to show how dangerous the wing-backs are and how quickly Palace can attack. Something we need to be careful of in this game. Let's go and do Super 6 to finish off the preview. Right then, everybody. Super 6. I'm still not a winner. This is going to be the week. I can feel it. We're just going to go complete first thought only here. And the first thought, Liverpool Palace, has just told me it's going to be 3-0. I don't know why on earth I thought it's going to be 3-0. The Carrot agrees with me. Unbelievable. 3-0 to Liverpool. That's almost definitely not going to happen, but I've just gone first thought only. Wolves and Spurs. First thought was 2-1 to Spurs. It just came into my mind. Wolves have been relegated. Spurs are crap. They desperately need a win. Surely they get one here. 2-1 to Spurs. West Ham Everton. First scoreline, 2-2. It just appeared in my mind. 2-2. I don't know why. Let's see what people think. Draw and 1-1 and 2-1 to Everton. Again, not thinking about this, just going with it. What the hell? We've got the FA Cup involved. That's not allowed. City v Southampton. Well, this is going to be an absolute demolition. And my first thought was 4-1. Oh, could it be even bigger? Could it be even bigger? Could it be 5? Oh, see, yeah, I'm having more than one thought now. No, I'm sticking with 4-1. I'm sticking with 4-1. Arsenal, Newcastle. What am I thinking? 1-1. Came to my mind there. 1-1. Arsenal, Newcastle. People think Arsenal keep a clean sheet. Yeah, don't know. I just think a 1-1 there. Arsenal's so nervy at the minute. They can concede a goal. And Chelsea leads. Oh, what's my brain thinking? Nothing's coming to mind. Right, there we go. I've got something came to mind. Oh, Chelsea are going to score, surely. I thought 2-0, but surely Chelsea score. They can't not score again, can they? They can't not score again. I need to like re-roll in my mind. Right, I've re-rolled and I've absolutely changed my mind. It's going to be 2-1. No, it can't be 2-1 to Chelsea, can it? They're so bad. They're so bad. Oh, guys, this is going to be where I lose it. This is going to be where I lose it. Can you even put 1-1? Because how does 1-1 work? It's FA Cup. Someone has to go through, right? Is it two legs? It's not 2 legs, is it? That's the Carabao Cup. 2-1. Oh, God. It's stupid anyway, this stupid challenge. Will I win Super 6? Find out later this weekend. Alright guys, that's going to do it for today's preview. I really do hope you did enjoy the Friday Classic video as always. If you did, please do leave a like on the video. We're trying to get to 35 likes on every video, so if you do enjoy, please do click that like button and subscribe as well. We're getting closer to that 500 subscriber mark, so if you are new and you did enjoy, click subscribe. Podcast listeners, 5-star rating and reviews. You guys all know the drill by now. Guys, I will be back on Saturday to do the ratings after the game, as always. Until then, enjoy your Friday nights, hope for a Liverpool win, and I'll speak to you after the game. Thanks for watching, everyone. Goodbye.